Hi everyone. I thought I'd give you a bit of the story of how we got to Lugazi in Uganda and the church building project there. Missions for me started in 1996, which was the first trip to Uganda actually. And believe it or not, this is, I think, trip number 320. I've been to 45 countries around the world, many of those countries many times. When we first went to Uganda, I was leading the trip. I didn't have a passport. I had to get one. It was the first time on a plane. And with a great friend, Mike Adams, we took this team of 13 people, including ourselves, and we went. And we were just completely launching out in faith. We met many people. One of those people, Pastor Akumu, up in Mbali, and we've been involved with him over many years. He's now built a fantastic church, actually now building an education centre and a Bible academy. And during those times, you don't know what God's going to do next. You just go in faith and you're really looking to just love on and bless people, pray for people. We did open air meetings, mass open air meetings. I think sometimes there was 4,000 or 5,000 people in those meetings. And yet it's often in the small things that you do that later on you realize the outcome. So on the third trip, 1999, I got in the habit of getting suits and nice clothes and a few pairs of shoes so that anybody I found along the way of the journey of the mission trip, I could kind of upgrade their shoes or their clothes as I went. And I realized that Pastor Fred Lubuama, who we're going to see shortly in Lugazi, he was there as a kind of an intern for Pastor Akumu in 1999. And I had a purplish coloured suit you'll see on the screen. And Fred was probably 14 or 15. So I'm not big built. And that suit fitted Fred at that age. So that was really the first interaction I had with Pastor Fred. We came home, we've interacted since, but then he went on to become a school teacher. And within that, got married and had a small family. And it was only a few years back, the Lord was saying to me, you need to revisit Uganda again. There's things to do. So I went and launched back out. And at the same time, someone called Pastor Santid, Matthew Santid, he contacted me out of the blue to say that he was planting a church. And I actually did some fundraising for that building. And his church exploded. So I'm actually going to see him on this trip, but it's not the main purpose of the trip. And then shortly afterwards, Pastor Fred contacted me, and we hadn't spoken for a long time, and was saying that he had actually, as well as his school job and his family, he'd planted a small church. But where this is in Lugazi, it's about halfway between Kampala and Ginger, if you've ever been to Uganda. It's not a well-to-do area, and he'd managed to rent a piece of land that was kind of on a gradient on the side of a hill. And for a couple of years then, particularly during COVID, my friend Gareth Killer and I had been sending money to them around Christmas time so that the whole congregation would have enough food for Christmas. During COVID, the country was severely locked down. People couldn't work. So it seemed like a good thing to do. But now we come back to a couple of years ago when the opportunity came to buy the land the church was sitting on. So then there was no rent needed to be paid. and actually a little plot came up next to the church for sale. And again, not much money. I think that was £1,400. And that would make the footprint of the church bigger, but obviously the building had yet to be built on that land. So no electricity, no plumbing, no sewage, no toilet block, all things that have to be worked on and overcome. But in purchasing that plot of land, Gareth in particular then this year was able to raise enough money to level the whole piece of land and build a wooden structure with tin sheets on the outside, which is much, much bigger than what they had before. So the old rented church building probably sat 20 people, was not in great condition. Again, you'll see photos as I'm talking about this. And what's been lovely now is, they've done a remarkable job with such little money. I think we sent them already about 3,000. There's about £3,000 left to raise. And it's just been fantastic to see the whole church community, little community that they've got, come together. Somebody could afford to buy a bag of sand or a bag of cement, and then another person could buy a chair for inside the church. And, that's a big sacrifice for the income that they do have. So we are seeing this project as an amazing opportunity for the gospel in their area within Lugazi. So it's more of a village than a town. It's almost a town. I think there's about 12,000 people altogether in the area. But around them, there's several small mosques where they are in particular. Not much. There's not much evidence of the gospel being preached. But, the amazing thing is, we were talking to Pastor Fred just the other day, and he was saying, would you mind sponsoring a little bit more money for food on the day and the celebration of the opening? Because he said, we're going to have about 200 people show up on the day. So imagine going from a little church of 20 to having all of this opportunity, and then going from that to a potential church of 150, 200 after the opening. What an amazing opportunity this is. They've already built a toilet block with some of the money that we sent. We're hoping now to raise a little bit more money to put a concrete floor in, maybe get electricity to the church, put proper windows and doors in. And it just feels great to be doing something for the kingdom that doesn't really cost us, if we all get together and help on it, much in terms of our own individual contributions. But when you put all of that together, it makes a huge impact in Uganda. So I'd encourage you, I'll put a link on this video. If you can give £10, £50, £100, we're not needing thousands of pounds, but, that would make such a difference. And that would set up a process for that church in Uganda that will just make a huge difference in the community. Over here is the grand opening sign I had made, £32 on Vistaprint. we don't spend a lot of money if we can make it, but it's a nice sign that will go out. I've also got a really nice study Bible for Pastor Fred, and we're only there, Gareth and myself are only there for 4 days with a lot of other stuff going on, but we wanted to go out to encourage the people that have so faithfully prayed for their own area. If they hadn't have prayed, maybe God wouldn't have persuaded Fred to contact me. Then I prayed, and then I put this in front of you. So that's the way the kingdom works, isn't it? So I'm excited. I know Gareth is excited. He's already packed his bags once and unpacked and checked and packed them again. So we're just looking forward to this trip. So again, if you want to make a little contribution, if you can't, it's fine. The main thing is please pray. Please pray for an amazing outpouring of God's Spirit on Saturday, the 22nd of June, and then for the ongoing work of the church in that area. So I'll leave that with you. Thank you so much if you've already sent a gift in. I think there's 40 or 50 people who've already contributed. And what I love about this is it's us coming together to help in our own little way with a small donation. So thank you. So I'm going to sign off. Hopefully you've seen some of the photos along the way, but I thought I'd do a short update today to let you know where things are at with the Lugazi church building project. God bless you.